So I've been in sales for 12 years. I've closed over $22 million. And in this video today, I'm about to break through every single thing that I can think of that has helped me get to where I started to where I'm at today. So a little bit about myself and where I'm at today versus where I was, so you have context on this video, is right now I run a 6-figure per month business. I've actually have 2 businesses, but it wasn't all that cool. So back in the day, I was someone probably like yourself where I went to college. I didn't really have any direction in life. I didn't know what was the next step. I saw all of my college buddies pick their major, get a job, get an internship, move to the city, start making really good money. And I had the feeling that I was getting left behind. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I went to college at Rutgers University, Scarlet Knights, and I went to school for criminal justice. Now, I can tell you, bar none, that I have not used one single thing in that criminal justice major to make money, achieve results, see success, do the things that I want to do in life. And that's like a lot of people, right? A lot of people go to college, they pick something when they're like 17, 18 years old. You don't know what you want to do at that stage in your life. Understand that where you're at now really has no indication on where you can go, and that literally your life is an open canvas and you can make the most of it. And I'm about to walk through, like I said, what I've learned, what I've experienced, the highs, the lows, the goods, the bad, with my journey in sales and leveraging my skill set as a salesperson and my connections to then start my own business and really create my dream life and my dream reality. So without further ado, let's get into what I've written down here. So number one, and I think the most important thing, if you're getting into sales, everyone's worried about them and themselves, right? You're worried about your abilities. I don't have any sales experience. How can I get a job, right? The things that you should be really focused on is the offer, right? The company that you're working for. Attaching your wagon to the wrong horse can drive you down the wrong road for too long, and then you have to work your way back to the main road and get on a new road. So really making sure that the thing that you're selling, the thing that you're gonna be dedicating the next 6, 12, 18, 24 years of your life to is something that actually does what it says it's gonna do. So make sure you're on a reputable offer with integrity. The offer itself gets people results and they document those results, social proof. So make sure the company you're working for has testimonials, has positive reviews on the internet. Secondly, make sure that they treat their people correctly, right? Because sales is a dog-eat-dog environment. Commission structures are changed on you left and right. Your manager might not care about you. They might not have training for you. So if you're just getting started, really making sure that the company that you're working for, A, has successfully hired salespeople, B, they have a good offer, right? People actually want to buy, because you could be Jordan Belfort, right? You could be amazing at sales. You can be someone with experience like me. And with my sales experience to this day, if I got on an offer with a company that's selling something or a solution or a product or a service that no one wants or no one's able to see it, I'm not going to have success regardless of how good I am at sales. So really focusing in on your first role, your next role, making sure that the offer that you are going to apply to, interview with, and ultimately accept a job with is a thing that you actually want to do. And with sales, you have to talk about it. You have to understand the product. So if you're not passionate about the thing that you're selling, right, you're really not going to be able to be good at it because you just don't care about it. You don't want to care about it. And that's going to come across subconsciously in your sales interactions. So the things, like I said, I'd be looking for in an offer is making sure you like it, other people like it, and they actually will value you so you can actually grow and ascend in your career path in sales. So that's probably the most important thing when you're getting started in sales, is making sure you're with the right company. And I really can't stress that enough. I've already said it a few times already. Seriously, the offer makes your commission check. You don't make your commission check. So what goes into that is giving yourself enough time for sales to work for you. When I first started in sales, my first big boy sales job in New York City, I was an SDR. I was making cold calls. I was in an office. There was like 15 or 20 other sales reps. It was kind of like a boiler room mentality. I sucked at sales. I was terrible. All my sales experience leading up into that point was face-to-face in-person sales. I did door knocking and I sold cars. So my first time being in an office doing remote sales, right? Not in-person sales or outside sales, I was terrible because everything that I would rely upon to make a sale, which would be my face, my presentation, my handshake, how I dressed, how I represented myself, and being able to look someone eye to eye was the way that I was conducting sales up until that point. When I got into an inside sales position as an SDR, making cold calls, the only thing that I could rely on was my voice. And up until that point, I didn't really understand how to use my voice to persuade people and portray the value proposition and actually close a deal. I was out of my element. So the only thing that got me out of my element and into my element, and all of you guys, when you first start sales, will be out of your element, right? You're gonna be doing something that you're uncomfortable with, doing something you've never done before. But the biggest thing that was holding me back was that I was making this out to be some big, scary thing that it didn't need to be. At the end of the day, sales is two humans having a conversation, whether it's on Zoom, in person, or on a phone call. Once you understand that that is literally all that it is, it's not the objection handling, it's not the offer, it's not the pitch, it's not your close, it's not your tie downs, it's not how you tie the knot, it's not your follow-up. At the end of the day, if you understand that it's just two human beings having a conversation, and if the conversation goes your way and there's a good fit and it's a good fit for them and it's a good fit for you, then you do the next stage in the sales process. If it's not, you don't. But you need to understand human beings and strip away all of the big scary things about sales. Making cold calls is scary in the beginning. Rejection is scary. No one loves being told no. And the more that you embrace that uncomfortability, the faster you're gonna grow in anything that you do. Take golf. I love golf. I play golf all the time. The first time I ever swung a golf club was terrible. Couldn't get the ball off the ground. I was hitting the ground. I was getting frustrated with myself. And as humans, we only like to do things that we're proficient at because we feel good doing it. And the only way that you get proficient at anything is to go through it. Right? You need to go through it to get through it. When you get into sales, understand you're going to suck. Embrace the suck. Understand how can I suck less and suck less faster. You need to be able to give yourself enough grace and time to really get good at something, get confident, and get proficient. I was on a PIP plan, right? A performance indicator plan. So essentially, I was on the chopping block as the worst SDR at the company. Even though I was super successful selling cars beforehand, I thought I was a hot shot in sales. I get into something that I'm uncomfortable with. I never made a cold call in my life. I get thrown into the fire and I was sinking. I was not swimming. And once I understood and I read a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People, it taught me about the art of speaking to other human beings, right? Saying their name multiple times in conversation because there's a recognition. When you hear your name, your ears perk up. Really just keep it simple and just understand that the more conversations I have with more human beings, the better I'm gonna get, the more confident I'm gonna get in my abilities, and the more the odds are in my favor. If you make 10 cold calls and you have 10 no's, then you're at a 0%. If you make 100 cold calls and get 90 no's, then you have 10 yeses, right? You need to do more to get more results. Everything is a volume game in sales. The more you do, the better you get at it, the more confident you get, which increases your likelihood of having success. But the problem with everyone in this generation is that everyone is instant gratification, right? We all have this thing. This thing is a phone. You are always on your phone. If you don't have your phone, you feel weird. You're like, where the hell is this thing? It's like literally an extension of you. But the problem with this thing is that if you go on any social media, all you do is see a highlight reel of people making more money than you, being more successful than you, driving a nicer car than you, being in a nicer house than you, doing things that you want to do that you can't do yet. Key word there is yet. You have to understand that the people that you see in the highlight reels on social media, you don't see what happened before they recorded that content. No one's made content from the day that they were born until the day they are at now, right? They just get on social media once they start having success. Don't relate yourself. Don't get discouraged because you want that instant gratification. You want the Rolex. You want the penthouse apartment. You want the Rolls Royce, the Porsche, the whatever the hell it is, right? You want all those things, but you understand to get to where you want to go, you need to give yourself enough time to get there. And the only reason why anyone on this earth is more successful than you is two reasons: time and knowledge. They're more knowledgeable than you on a subject matter, and they've been doing it longer than you. So they know how to do it better. Once you understand that those two principles is the only thing that's stopping you from where you want to go, and understanding that time and knowledge is something that is a constant thing and you can't speed up really. You can speed up knowledge, but you really can't speed up your time. The only way you could speed up your time and you're shortening your timeline, achieving a result that you want to achieve, is by practicing. Practice makes perfect, right? That corny phrase is absolutely true. You have to practice what it is that you're doing because it breeds confidence. And like I've said multiple times already in this video, and you'll notice that I'm going to repeat myself a lot in this video because these are the things that actually matter. And you need to practice not in a real life environment. If you've played any sports, you have to practice before the game. The better you practice, the more that you practice, the more effective and efficient your practice is, the better you are to perform in a game. Now, when I was starting to do cold calling, I was learning doing live cold calling, which created anxiety and stress because I wasn't confident in what I was doing, so I wasn't having good reps in practice. I got hired with 3 other reps. The 3 of us were all struggling because we were all new. And I went to the other 2 guys, like, hey guys, like, what if we just practiced for an hour? We got here at the office earlier. We practiced our cold calls, we did role plays together, and we did some practice reps before the game, which started at 9. So we started to do that for a few months. We started to get confident. We actually started to work together. And the 3 of us, after a matter of months, we became the top 3 reps. We were so dedicated and obsessed with being the best. I very much invite you to become obsessed. People tell you like obsession is bad, or going all in on something is unhealthy. You need to go all in. You need to be obsessed about being the best to be the best. And what I mean, I was obsessed about sales. I was obsessed not only about being good at sales, but I was also obsessed about my metrics and my numbers. And this is why something that's gotten me to where I'm at today is by surrounding yourself with other people that are obsessed, other people that are better than you, other people who make more money than you. You need to be surrounded by them. Now, I grew up in a small town. It's like a hick town in New Jersey. There was like no different races. Everyone was kind of poor. Now, if I stayed in that environment, I would have become a product by my environment. Understanding that that is what actually happens, you need to change your environment if you want to change the results that you're going to get and the type of person that you're going to become. Surround yourself by the best people on the sales team. Don't surround yourself by the water cooler talk of the leads are shitty, or this is bad, or complaining about this, complaining about that. Because at the end of the day in sales, it's all up to you and your activity. There is no one that's out to get you. It is you out to get yourself. So when you surround yourself by other people who are asking more of their life, asking more of what they're doing, you're going to start to take on those habits, take on that obsession. And as salespeople, we are competitive by nature. As humans, we're kind of competitive by nature. Having that mentality and having someone on your team or someone that you can like do that with and create that competitive mentality is going to propel you to be number 1. Being number 1 in a team of 1 is kind of lonely. You don't know where your benchmarks are. You don't know where you stand. Like, find somebody, whether it's at your company or someone who's also in sales in a community or Facebook group, whatever the hell it is. Find them, connect with them, and create a competition. Who can close the most deals? Who can make the biggest commission check? Who can do the most dials? Who can do this? Hold yourself accountable and beat that person. That's going to create a competitive environment, and that's what's really going to make it fun to be successful. Now, all of the things that I'm talking about, they all work cohesively with one another. Your offer needs to matter. You need to surround yourself and network with people who are ahead of you. You need to practice. You need to have confidence, which comes from practice, which comes from being around the right environment. And another thing that I could probably attribute most of that $22 million to is, funny enough, kind of what comes of those things. The more things that you do, the more people that you talk to, the more experiences that you experience is going to make you more well-rounded as a person. And like I said earlier, sales is 2 human beings having a conversation. And if you know more things about more things, you don't have to be an expert in anything, but you need to know enough to be educated in them. You need to know a little bit about sports. You need to know a little bit about traveling. You need to know a little bit about politics. You need to know about financial markets. You need to know about cryptocurrencies. You need to know about social media, business, sales, marketing, whatever it is. The more that you can experience things and be able to talk to things, the easier it's going to be to connect with other human beings. Because if you're in a room with somebody and you can talk to the things that they care about, they're going to be more inclined to talk to you and enjoy talking to you, which is where sales is conducted, is with personal communication and personal skills. So the thing that I can attribute to most of my success, if not all of it, is surrounding myself with others, which gives me different perspectives on different peoples and walks of life, talking with more people, having more experience, which allows me to be more confident in what I talk about, experiencing new things from the money that you make in sales. You make a lot of money in sales, you can travel the world, you can buy things, you can experience nice dinners, you can travel to nice places, you can have a luxurious lifestyle. That is all going to compound into you. which is essentially the product at the end of the day. You are the product. No one buys a product or service if they don't like the person that's selling that product or service. You can't be a shitty person or a boring person and make a lot of money in sales because people only buy from people that they like. I'll prove this to you right now. So as a business owner, we talk with a lot of different vendors. Now, we were looking for a data platform, right? So we can buy our leads from. So ZoomInfo is by far, on paper, the best software there is for data. There was another software that was cheaper than them, lesser quality data. It was called Cognizant, which is like their main competitor. Now, their price points are a little bit similar. So the price points are the same. The product offering is pretty much the same. You get the leads, you pay the same amount of price. They're both yearly contracts. So what is the defining factor that made me go with one or the other? It's not the product. It's not the company. They all had product reviews. They all had good things in the marketplace. So what is the X factor making a prospect go with one versus the other? That is you, the salesperson. The interaction and the experience that they have with you is what's going to make them go with you or with your competitor. So my experience with the salespeople, the Cognizant guy was super cool. He did extra work. So after we got off our initial sales call, he shot me a video going through the platform. He actually made a sample lead list for me based on my company's needs and wants from the conversations that we had. He did extra legwork. He gave me a sample data set for my team to go cold call and prove the efficacy of his product. He went above and beyond. Now with the ZoomInfo rep, which was a better product, better service, he had a bad attitude. He didn't really connect with me at all. He seemed like he was going through the motions and he was pretty pompous. He was kind of a douche. He was like, hey man, like I have 6 other sales calls today. Like whether you do this or not do this, like I'm gonna hit my quota, I'm gonna hit my number, like we're the best. You should know that we're the best, so you should buy our product. That might be true. But the feeling that I had with that salesperson didn't make me feel like I was a customer, I was valued, and I wanted to actually spend my money there, even though they were a better product or service. People will go with where they feel the most heard, most listened to, and most taken care of because people are people. People act on emotions and people don't do things that they don't want to do. So when you're a salesperson, understand that your abilities, how good you are, how confident you are, your knowledge of the product, how you present yourself, how you actually do follow-up and maintain the relationship is the X factor in you making money in sales, even if you are selling a less competitive product in that marketplace. I can keep going on this video. I'll probably do a part 2 to this video, but I'm honestly kind of tired right now. It's pretty hot where I'm recording this video, but if you just follow those principles, guys, and I'll repeat them again to really get this in your brains, is like, make sure you sell a good product, you work for a good company. When you're at that company, surround yourself with the killers on the team, surround yourself with others in different networking groups or communities, create a competitive environment, practice before the game. Don't think of sales as some big scary thing. It's just 2 human beings having a conversation, and knowing that it's 2 human beings having a conversation, make yourself more worldly, make yourself likable, and you're gonna make a shit ton of money in sales. Now, if you found this video beneficial, you like the content, leave a comment on other videos you want me to see. I do read them all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next.